It is dumping buckets of snow outside right now. I can't even believe this. It's supposed to be 70 degrees on Wednesday, too. I don't get it. Well, I have a lot of news for you hype dorks out there, if you're still tuned into the channel. I am going to make a market prediction today. I always say that you can't predict markets, but you can absolutely predict markets when you have certain types of information. And I'm going to make a market prediction today. So get ready for that. Tesla splitting. That's cool. Again, whatever. Why wouldn't they split? One of the greatest analogies is Paul saying that they're like crack dealers, just selling. They're standing on the corner selling crack to the addicts. They keep buying the shares, and that is exactly what you're seeing here. So futures are down a touch. They were up earlier this morning, but let's get into some news. Oh, this is an interesting one. Tobacco slips on a report that Walmart is going to remove cigarettes. I didn't know that Target removed cigarettes in 1996. That was news to me. Tobacco stocks slipped after the Wall Street Journal said that Walmart is ending cigarette sales in some of its stores, spurring concern that other retailers may do the same. Walmart is exiting only in a few stores, states. California, Florida, New Mexico, and Arkansas. Arkansas surprises me after an internal debate of the retailer. They stopped selling e-cigarettes in 2019. We remember the whole Juul thing, and then the Juuls were causing like some insane lung tumor, and then everybody started to bail on the Juuls. But Walmart has also made its policy on selling guns and ammunition stricter in the recent years. Walmart is not the first retailer to do this. 1996 for Target. I had no idea. And I'm not going to lie. I don't really go to stores that frequently. I'd rather just order it online. But I don't really go to Target that much. But the Target thing kind of surprises me. It surprised because I just assumed that off to like the left side when you check out, there was just a line of cigarettes, but apparently not. All right. Apple stock falls finally as suppliers decline. This stock went up like 8 or 9 days in a row. Anyways, Nikkei Asia reports say that the Apple plans to make 20% fewer iPhone SEs next quarter. This is due to a lot of demand issues and supply issues. So that's not surprising. The company has been telling multiple suppliers that it aims to lower production by about 2 to 3 million phones for the quarter, citing weaker demand. I mean, this thing still has a button. I don't know. These things are going to be obsolete if when they start going to that subscription-based hardware plan that we were talking about, because people are going to be able to see that they can get a better phone for, instead of forking out tons of money up front, they can fork out a little bit of monthly payments, and Americans love monthly payments, especially when they have tons of debt. So that's perfect. The report also said that Apple plans to reduce its AirPod earphones by more than 10 million units for the fall of 2022, predicting lukewarm demand. It's the number one sold headphone in the world right now. So I don't know. This kind of, to me, reminds me of the same thing as the entire Facebook deal. Like, everybody already has them. Where are you going to go from here? But anyways, what else do we have? Housing market. Pending home sales fall for the fourth straight month. Guys, it's impossible to find a home out there. I've been looking. I mean, you see the junk that inventory is. I think there's less than 1 million homes for sale in the United States right now. Pending home sales, a lead indicator of the health of the housing market, has declined for a fourth straight month. The National Association of Realtors Pending Home Sales Index, which tracks the number of homes that are under contract to be sold, fell 4.1% in February from January and 5.4% from the same time a year ago. The results were disappointing as analysts expected a 1% increase from a month earlier. So these analysts are right on target with everything that they predict. Buying demand is still intense, as it's as simple as one cannot buy what's not for sale. But the houses that are for sale, everybody's going at them. Everybody's going at these things, the houses that are for sale. I mean, they sell so quickly. Total housing inventory remains depressed. At the end of February, there were about 870,000 units for sale, up 2.4% from January, down 15.5% from a year ago. The lack of inventory is driving home prices to record highs. The median home right now is up 15% from a year ago. Well, February a year ago. For buyers looking for a home, the higher price comes at a time where speeding inflation is not only taking more out of your paycheck, but you got to pay for higher rates. But the rates, we could probably bring the rates back down to zero. It'll be all right. Everything will be all right. Tesla. So I woke up to news this morning of this. I don't get it. These people that are okay with this, that are investors, and the people that just keep going and buying this stupid thing are absolutely delusional and could be compared to crackheads. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. I just don't understand. I literally just don't understand it. You have a company that is barely making money. They just got to the consistency of making money. You have intense supply chain shortages. They overpromise and underdeliver on everything that they do, and people just want to keep going and buying the stock. It just doesn't compute in my mind. Tesla will seek approval, investor approval, to increase the number of shares to enable stock split in the form of a dividend. The electric car maker said on Monday, sending its shares up 5 to 6% before the bell. The proposal has been approved by the board. Of course it has, because they just want to keep giving the drugs out to you crackheads. And the shareholders will vote on in the annual meeting. However, the company is also beginning to face... I highlighted this because it was a joke. So that's all. That was the news. That's the news of the day. I don't know what to tell you guys. If you want to do something with it, have fun. The company is also beginning to face competition as legacy automakers such as Ford, startups, including Rivian, come into the market. Yeah, big competition there. It's just sweeping competition. I'm shaking in my boots if I was Tesla. Tesla said the stock dividend will be contingent on final approval. For those of you that are wondering, this statement right here that I said I'm shaking in my boots, I'm not shaking in my boots. If I was Tesla, they're in a very comfortable position right now. Everything that's happening out there is a joke with these other, even Ford. I mean, they're not, until they start producing these things on a mass scale. I guess they've done it with I wonder how many Mustang Mach-E's they've sold. I don't know. Recession warning signs. So we talk about the yield curves pretty much every morning. Part of the U.S. yield curve has had its first inversion since 2006. and that would be the 5-year and the 30-year. So the curve is flattening. So now in the news, you guys are going to start hearing about the yield curve is flattening. The yield curve is flattening. The curve is flattening as investors bet that the Federal Reserve will tighten policy rapidly enough to risk a sustained slow. Okay, I see a comment here that I want to talk about. Jeff said Ford has something that Tesla does not have: dealer base. So I actually look at dealerships now as, sure, they could be an advantage, but I don't necessarily think they're the end-all be-all. I've personally bought 3 cars in the last 3 years, and I have gone to a dealership 0 times. I bought one from California. I had it shipped to me. I did everything over email negotiation. I did one from Virginia, had it shipped to me. I did everything over telephone negotiation. And Tesla, there is no negotiating because you go on the website and they drop it off at your house. It's as simple as that. So I don't think that dealers, I mean, you look at what's happening with Carvana, you look at what's happening with all these companies that are just dropping cars off at your house. You see what they did during COVID, where you could literally buy a house, they bring you the car, or you go to the dealership and pick it up, but you're not dealing with anybody. And so what's the advantage of the dealership? So, Jeff, I understand what you're saying, but I do have to maybe start disagreeing with you a little bit, because I don't think that dealerships are going to be, I don't think that that's an old school way of selling, in my opinion. I'd much rather not do that. I mean, you look at AutoNation, there is no negotiating at AutoNation. You just buy the car. What's the point of having a dealership if you're just going to buy the car? You know, the 5-year, okay, so back to the story. The U.S. 5-year yields climbed 9 basis points, 2.63, rising above the 30-year. So those yield curves have inverted. So I like looking at the long-term stuff. So I like looking at 3-month and 10-year. This is pretty much similar. You're looking at 5 years and 30 years. So when you're getting paid more money, more interest to hold a short-term bond versus a long-term bond, that's a pretty bearish signal. So a lot of people are starting to worry now, what's going on here? But just add it to another signal of chaos and just let the market keep going higher. Powell also pushed back against the concerns of an inverted yield curve would signal the economy is headed for a recession, saying it made more sense to focus on the shorter end when the curve remains steep. Okay. Crashy Woods bought $8.3 million of NEO at $19. We'll have to look where it is. NEO is in deep value territory. I disagree with you. I believe it's in deep speculation territory. Bid and Ask Nation is great. It should cost $300 a month. I'll accept your $300 a month if you would like. Way to go, Target. Mo, did you read about the billionaires tax? Don't get me started. How am I supposed to haggle down the price from 7K with the tinted windows? Good point. Ford said they're going to do more factory orders to consumers. Yep, that's exactly right. Test drives. You can go to a used sales car lot and go test drive a car. I don't know. I hate dealing with salespeople. No offense if you're a salesperson, but you guys are, oh God. I'll never forget this. I went to go buy a camper one time, and the guy, he literally said to me, so what do you think? You want to take this home today? And I said, no, I'm going to think about it. It's my first time actually like seeing one of these things. And he goes, well, he's like, here's my number. Call me back. Don't make me regret that I didn't put more pressure on you. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? A lot of dealership parking lots are empty anyways, yeah. Why raise rates if we are heading into a recession? Because they're trying to curtail that. What's the billionaires tax? They're gonna if you have a home, household net worth of $100 million or more, they're gonna tax you a minimum of 20%. What else do we have? No. What else do we have? Technology is killing everything. Yeah. It's making it easier, that's for sure. Did anyone see Will Smith smack somebody last night? Yeah. That was weird. Hey Mo, why don't you trade Tesla? I'll trade Tesla. I trade Tesla on and off here and there. I have no problem trading Tesla. I'm talking about it from an investor standpoint. Something like cigarettes would never get FDA approval today. Yeah, that's right. See here. 1 million equals 1 billion. So Carl, it's pretty funny. I read billionaires tax and I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be billionaires. Then I go to the article and it's 100 million. So funny how that works, huh? Funny how that works. All right. And then, okay, my stock market prediction. I am actually making a stock market prediction. Jim Cramer declares that the bear market is over. So I'm going to predict that the bear market is not over, because when I get information like this from a bumbling idiot, I will go ahead and say that it's not over. But it's so funny. I don't really care what he said, to be honest. But looking at actually I do. It was funny. There are 600 companies that came public in the last 18 months. There's like 7 of them north of $9. This is, I don't know why the price matters like that, but this is the bear market, just like 2001, except we have rates much lower. I'm looking at all the companies under $10, and some of them are actually making money. We are in some weird market that is a bear market, and no one has called it a bear market. I think the bear market is over. Then you go down here and start looking at these tweets. This person said, the bear market is over. Looks like we plunge next week. This person said, Shiba Inu of 8 Mile. Jim Cramer called the bear market over, which means we're all going to die. That means that the market's going to go down. Do you respect Jim Cramer? I love Jim Cramer. Pay your fair share, Mo. You're right. I should. I just hoard all the money I work for. All right, that's it. Follow us on Instagram at @TraderMo_EM, at Everything Money Investing, at Paul Gabriel, at Seth Kirchanan. If you can find me, since Instagram shadow banned me, but whatever. I'll just continue to say whatever I want. What are the... Oh, yay, we have a red day. We have a red day. Thank the Lord. All right, where's those yield curves? All right, what was it, 5-year and 30-year? Yeah, so here's... Oh, okay, so they've reverted, but they're flat. I mean, they're flat. 2.55, 2.56. You have the 5-year and the 10-year have already gone over each other. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to these, the 3-month and the 10-year. Pay attention to the 3-month and the 10-year. Do we have any earnings this week? Nah, not so much. I remember we looked at this last week. Okay, we have Micron, Lulu. Maybe we have some stuff coming in tomorrow. Nothing really Thursday. Nothing really this week. And I don't know. Is Good Friday or something? Is there a market on Friday? If you want to come over and join the software, here's everything that you get. Of course, you get all this news. This news is incredible. It has feeds from everywhere. CNBC. Well, CNBC is the only one I know off the top of my head. But the other ones have it. So you get all of these tools, plus you get the chat. Let me log out of here so I can click and show you what the link looks like. Come on over here. $30 a month gets you that. $80 a month gets you access to the Bid and Ask Nation Day Trade Live Employed Trader Series. Man, you get so much. You get the Saturday seminars. I just did one this past Saturday. Those are all documented and saved. So if you if you didn't jump in, come on back in. What else? Your social media is stupid. I agree with you, Demo. I'm actually really enjoying your comments today, guys. I never read comments like this. They're really good. Paying 30 years paying more than the bank charging for my house. Yeah. Yeah, and the average interest rate now for a 30-year fixed mortgage is like 4.69% or something like that. It's incredible. Micron reports tomorrow. Yeah, Micron reports tomorrow. There's one. But it's not really earnings season. I'm more specifically looking for earnings season to be coming around, not necessarily just one stock. That doesn't really do much for me. That's more of, I think it's next week. Here, let's just take a peek. I think it's next week on Wednesday. Yep, next week on Wednesday. When JP Morgan reports, that's when it kicks it off. So the banks start reporting. So you have JP Morgan reporting, then you come in and you have Bank of America, Delta, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, United Healthcare, or United Health Group or whatever you call it. Then you get earnings season. Then this Monday, everything's just going to go boom, boom, boom. It's just name after name after name. And when does Apple report? Let's see here. Intel reports on the 21st, so mark that down. Apple reports on the 27th. Amazon on the 28th. Tesla's on 25th. Okay, so earnings season's coming in hot, guys. It's amazing. It's just like, it's incredible. All right, let's look at some stuff. Everything seems to be pulling back a touch today. What do we have? Give me some stocks. We'll run through them. Can you look at DKNG? Sure. DKNG. I don't really know what you want me to look at here. So you're under all 4 major moving averages. It's really trying to hover and hug that 25-day moving average. You can certainly try to short this thing, but it's not going to go lower than, what is this, 1550? It's just a dog stock like nobody's business. Yeah. All right. We can look at Tesla. Oh, there's another thing that it just popped in my head. Albert Pujols went back to the what do you call it? Cardinals. That's weird. He's like 20 homers away from 700 or something. But I don't know what's more crazy, that he went back to the Cardinals for a measly $2.5 million relative to the rest of the game, or that it's been 10 years since he signed that mega deal with the Angels. All right. Tesla, yeah, it's an uptrend. This yellow line is going to move into the sweet spot today, I'm sure. You're back over $1,000 a share. Let's see. Let me pull up a line chart here just to see what we got going on. It looks like it's kind of, so it's going to go like this today. That's not really a W formation. This will come back down here. If we get any turbulence in the market, it's going to come back down here. This is nonsense. What's happening here? This is exactly the same thing that happened back when the Hertz deal happened. It shot up out of nowhere. This is going to shoot up out of nowhere, and it's going to pull right back down. So, yes, I got a recommendation. I got recommended to open an IRA with Vanguard index funds or ETF and a Schwab brokerage account. Options long-term. That all sounds really good to me. Alejandro, message me in the bid and ask so we can talk about it more. Because I don't really want to give you... Wait, a Vanguard brokerage account? Is that what I just read? Oh, Vanguard index. Okay, yeah. I didn't even know Vanguard had a brokerage account. But I'm sure it's terrible, so. All right, what do we have? Para, P-A-R-A. What do we got here? Oh, nice looking trend. Oh, wow. Whoa. All right, so do we have a 50%er? Yeah. All right, so here's the deal. Here's your high. Here's your low. You're certainly not going to get through there, but this is almost like you're not going to get through there, and you're probably not going to get through there. So if you can run this up to $40, $42, whatever it is, you can get a little bit more, you're good. But so to me, I wouldn't even look at this over here. I would come over and I would only swing trade this thing. Now be careful. You have declining volume. This is a very weird stock. Very, very weird chart. Be very careful with this thing. Be very careful with this thing. Alibaba. Oh, there's a big gap down here that needs to fill. That'll fill. So, yeah. So it looks like it's over. It looks like the run is over. You had this massive spike, and now you're starting to get this decline in volume. The daily chart's starting to come down. You never had this thing pop over the 32% line, so this is certainly going to probably come down. You have a gap to fill right here, so that gap will fill, and I am sure that this gap will fill as well. So, like I said, this thing is coming back down to these levels. It is not susceptible to market volatility. And we have seen that. You're going to start seeing that over the coming days. Netflix. What is everybody typing Netflix for? Why is everybody so focused on Netflix this morning? Somebody please give me an inside baseball, because I don't know what's happening. Netflix. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. So the volume is not the greatest on Netflix over the past... Actually, last week it was awful. You didn't even touch average volume one time last week. You're starting to turn into a downtrend. If you want to short this thing down to this it's probably 325 level. If you get an engulfment, that would be fine. But I just don't see what you guys are seeing on. I just don't see what you guys are seeing on Netflix. Bristol Myers. Oh wow, look at the Bristol Myers go. Let's see here. Pull this up. It's actually making nice W formations. This is quite the stretch though, from $70 to 71 to 73. Yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Yeah, maybe it's not. We'll see. Keep running with this thing. Keep running with it. Pay attention to the volume. It seems like it's starting to decline a little bit. So see what happens with that stock. Those who keep typing Apple, I'm not going to do Apple. Apple's part of the Employed Trader series. If you want to access it, hop on over into the bid and ask. I cover it every single day because it's a stock that I trade every single day, and I'd be happy to explain it to you further in there. HPQ. Big flagpole that we have running right now. So they're back up there. Actually, oh, and it pulled down. Okay, I see now. Big flagpole came right back down. That's what flagpoles do. So keep an eye on this trend. This thing could certainly turn on you. I don't like the declining volume. With this pullback and where it's going to open the day right here, I bet you this thing turns down a little bit like such. Yeah, I'm not too keen on that one right now. Did we do Tesla yet? We already did this one, right? Yeah, it's spiked up like that. Okay. What else do we have? Can you do Intel? Yeah, sure. Intel's running right in the 200-day moving average. And when you run into 200-day moving averages with volume like this, you're going to fall right back down, and it did so. You actually noticed that little wick that it had on Friday because it ran into the 200-day moving average with no volume. So it fell right back down. Is this a flagpole? Because it really looks flagpole-ish. Yeah. So this thing is going to come back down to these levels of 49, 48, 47, somewhere in here. So, like I said, I think I probably said this last week, and if I didn't say it, you should have known that I was going to say it if you've been watching me for any length of time. This big run up like this on news that they might do something with NVIDIA or something like that. I mean, come on, it's all speculation. Just take your profits on something as silly as that and move on. TX is creating nice W formations. Is it? Yeah, it's created one nice W formation. I wouldn't say it's creating nice W formations. This thing will pull back down to this 44 level because it consolidated in here, and actually in here for quite a while. So it's going to come back to this level. With volume like this, you're not going to stay above the 200-day moving average. You're going to come right back down, and I guarantee you don't stay above the 100-day moving average. You got to have volume to stay above those levels, and you don't have it. All right, Facebook. Okay. I would really like to see Facebook move into the sweet spot with the red line and yellow line like this. That would be really nice. When did they report earnings? They're going to have an important earnings report. April 27th. So I do think that when they report earnings, it's going to be I think that they're going to get a pretty big spike on earnings. That's just my guess. I think that people are going to come out there. They're going to start seeing all of they've had a quarter to digest the nonsense news that really pushed them down. So I think that at that point they are going to start moving and starting to fill that gap. So pay attention to them on earnings. But this is a massive gap that needs to be filled. I mean, this is a $30, $40 gap. Now the bad news is, what level is this? 290. Okay, so you got to get through the 100-day moving average. But with an earnings report and it's being Facebook, you could really pump out some serious volume over the next month or so. All right. Everyone noticed the S&P dropping on anyone noticed the SPY volume dropping every day? Yep. So when you get first thing, very good point, Richard. When I see the market go up 5% or down 5%, it doesn't matter. I always like to go and look at the volume, and I like to compare it to the average, because if you have half of the average volume and you have a massive selling day, it just means that everybody's selling. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily as bad as it looks. It just means that everybody's selling or everybody's buying. And if you look at this, look at the S&P, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you look at what's happened with the S&P and 9 over the last 9 days, this one is not really included. This is kind of where it started. But as the price has gone up, the volume has come down. That to me tells me that this is the epitome of what flagpoles mean. You run up on weak volume on news. There's the majority buying volume that really pushes the market up, and then all of a sudden, one day, everybody that was buying in here, there weren't that many of them. They decide to sell one day, and you end up down here, and then they decide to sell the next day, and then they decide to sell the next day, and you get something like this. That's what happens. So, very good point, Richard. Thank you for bringing that up, because I was looking at it actually over the weekend, but it didn't dawn on me till right now. So, very, very good point to bring that up right now. Square. And I'm very happy that people are starting to look at volume and understand what exactly happens with volume and what volume actually means. Volume is the energy to your car. If you don't have it, it's not going to work. If you do have it and you have a rally of substantial gains and there's no volume, it tells you something. And that's what it just told Richard. So very good. All right. Square consolidating in this range with this type of volume, this declining volume, you're not going to break the 100-day moving average. It had a little nice run up there, but overall, even if you just look at the last month, weak volume, very, very weak volume. All right. Palantir. Actually, I want to look at Facebook first. Palantir is not that interesting to me. Not Facebook. Wait a second. I just saw it. Shoot. Somebody just typed it. Oh, Starbucks. Starbucks. That's what I want to look at. Palantir does nothing for me. It's a hype stock. So with Facebook, if we just look back and we just see where there was a lot of consolidation in here. This is probably this is a long period, maybe a 3-month period. A lot of consolidation in here. And now we're getting it. We're getting a lot of consolidation in this range. So this is a very, very strong resistance point. Plus, you're under 4 major moving averages. Plus, you have declining volume. Plus, you have a downtrend. Plus, you have a downtrend on a daily. This is rough. This is very rough. Very, very rough. Okay. What else do we have? Neo in honor of Kathy Wood. Crashy Wood. Why not? Crashy Wood. She bought a bunch of shares at $19, huh? Disruptive, huh? I love companies that deliver like 5,000 cars a year. It's sick. All right. Or 5,000 cars a month. Whatever they do. It's lame. It's going to attempt to move into the sweet spot. What was their earnings report? Didn't they report something terrible on their earnings? Their earnings were down. Oh, EPS. I don't know about. I thought that they reported something bad, but whatever. So what's going to happen with Neo? Let's see here. So if there's any type of market volatility, which there will be, you're going to come down to this consolidation area and this little valley right here. You're going to come right down there, and that's going to be about $12. The market's now open. Then you have a couple of gaps to fill down here. So that's going to probably come even lower, and that's going to come to about $8. So somebody just said $8. I'm buying Neo at $8. There you go. It's incredible. I love that people are listening. I love it. All right. Any more? No. Hey, Mo, on a day like today when there is not a lot of movement with Tesla and Wall Street bets chatting up, would you day trade it? Yeah, why not? Day trade it. Have fun. Nikola is my favorite car. Nikola is my favorite car, too. I have one in my family room, actually. One weekend when I was bored, I got a bunch of cardboard for my Amazon boxes, and I built a fake car, and then I took some extension cords and plugged them into the car to turn some lights on, and I had a Nikola car. And then I built a slope on my stairs of plywood, and then I rolled the car down the stairs, and I basically had a Nikola truck. So that was really cool. And then I called myself a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So Nikola, this is just decimated. I don't even know what to tell you here. If you don't even play it over here, just try to swing trade it. Just try to swing trade it. That's really all I can tell you. Swing trades, day trades. I actually do like the day trades on Nikola because you get these massive candles that really spike around. And yeah, that's it. All right, guys. I'm out of here for today. You guys have a wonderful day. We will talk tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace out.